Hi, I'm Steven Ting. I'm the owner of Success Secret, where I share success secrets and tips with entrepreneur. Hopefully, from this channel, you all entrepreneur can learn a lot from this channel. Yeah, we meet this morning is Alaric Ong. Hi, Alaric Ong.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Yeah,
Thank you.
he's my mentor and also a very successful entrepreneur and also a successful business coach. Yeah, Larry, just want to ask you, right, my first question, what inspired you to become an entrepreneur and how did you start your journey?
So I have been reading books about business ever since I was 7 years old. Okay, so like I read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki when I was 8 years old. I read How You Can Get Richer Quicker by Emma Courtmayer when I was 9 years old. So I've been reading books about entrepreneurship and about personal development, about subconscious mind, psychology, and all that since I was young. And so when I was like, so that inspired me to do business. Like I've always been interested in business ever since I was young. And my mom, she started her first business when I was 14 years old. She borrowed $200,000 from my grandma, her mother, to start up her first business, a health and wellness business. And it was not easy for a nurse, okay, to come out and run a business. And so that inspired me to start my own business. And I started my first business when I was 19 years old, a healthy food delivery business. And then I went on from there, scaled multiple businesses to millions of dollars. Yeah.
You built a seven-figure coaching business. What was the biggest turning point that led to your success?
I would say consistency. You know, like one thing about so like for me to scale my business from zero to $1.2 million was just from one pitch. Okay, I just keep saying the same pitch again and again. I probably say the same pitch hundreds of times. Okay, probably at least 200 times. And every time I say the pitch, I'll make $4,000 to $12,000. And honestly, it's not easy, okay? Because like as entrepreneurs, right, we tend to get bored of saying the same pitch, right? You know, like I could literally recite the pitch. Like even if I don't look at the slides, I would know what's the next thing I will say, right? Because I've said it so many times. But it's what works. So a lot of entrepreneurs, right, they made the mistake where they keep trying to do new things, you know. But actually, we should spend 80% of our time and energy on what's proven and only 20% on trying new things. It's still important to try new things because the thing that used to work might not work 1 year later, 5 years later, etc. So it's always good to experiment with new things, but only spend 20% of your time and energy on experimenting new things and spend 80% of your time and energy on something that's proven. Yeah.
What are some of the biggest challenges you face in scaling your business and how you overcome them?
So when you scale your business, okay, one thing you realize is that your cost per lead will end up going up. So for example, okay, if you're running at $200 ad spend, okay, your cost per lead will be very cheap. Like it's easy for you to acquire leads because imagine like this is the market, this is Facebook or this is YouTube, okay. So if let's say you're only spending $200 a day, you're always reaching the most targeted people that are most likely to respond to your ad, okay? But if you're spending $5,000 a day, then because the market is so small, your cost per lead will end up getting more and more expensive because there's no more audience for you to reach more people, okay? So one thing as you're scaling is that your cost per lead will go up. So it's very important to make sure that your cost per lead goes up, right? But because your conversion rate is good or you know is profitable, you can still successfully scale while maintaining profitability. And that's one of the hardest things to manage when you're scaling a business. Yeah.
You talk a lot about the Alaric flywheel. Can you explain how it works and why it's so effective?
Okay, so the Alaric flywheel basically stands for so Alaric is ALARIC. Okay, so it stands for attention, A for attention, L for leads, A for appointments, R for revenue, I for invest, and C for compound. By the way, sorry for the intercom because like we are here at the airport. Like I came all the way to KL to conduct a training, and then Steven is coming over here just to meet me for the first time in person, and that's why we are doing this interview here in the airport. Okay. So so attention needs appointments, revenue, invest, and compound. So how do we generate attention? Okay, we generate attention. Okay, it's like before we sell someone anything. Okay, before anyone buys anything, you must first get their attention. Every sale that you ever got, or everything that you ever bought, was because they got your attention. Whether they got your attention when you walk past their shop, whether they got your attention from a Facebook ad, a YouTube ad, from seeing a brochure, a flyer, they got your attention somehow. Okay, so the first part is attention. The second part is leads, turning the attention into leads. So for example, let's say if I run a Facebook ad and then someone opts into the landing page and puts their name, contact number, and email, they become a lead. That means they're interested, right? And then we either turn them into an appointment or an attendee, because there's two ways to sell. Either you sell them through a one-to-one appointment, or you sell them through a one-to-many event. Okay, if it's a one-to-many event, they become an attendee to your webinar or seminar, etc. If it's a one-to-one appointment, like a sales call, Zoom call, or face-to-face appointment, that's an appointment. Okay, so an appointment or attendee, and then you turn them into revenue. Okay, so like after that they become an attendee, you turn them into revenue. Okay, like you close them, that becomes revenue. Or if from an appointment you sell to them, that becomes revenue. Okay, and then I and C is invest and compound. So for example, let's say if I spend $1,000 on Facebook ads, I get 100 leads and I get 20 appointments, and let's say 2 people buy a $1,000 offer, so I make $2,000, right? So I take this $2,000, I invest back into advertising. Okay, then I get 200 leads, 40 appointments, $4,000 in sales. I invest back into advertising. I get so I invest 4K, I get 400 leads, 80 appointments, $8,000 in sales. I invest back. Okay, so as you keep doubling and doubling, you turn 1,000 into 2,000, 2,000 into 4,000, 4,000 into 8,000, 8,000 into 16,000, 16,000 into 32,000, 32K into 64K, 64K into 128K, 128K into 256K. Okay, and then 256K to 512K, and then 512K to $1 million. And in 10 cycles, you're able to double $1,000 into $1 million. So that's investing and compounding. So that's how you scale a business to $1 million using the Alaric flywheel. Yeah.
That's very interesting. My next question is what are the most common mistake people make in sales, and how can they improve?
So the common mistake people make in sales, especially beginners, is that there's two mistakes. Okay, the first mistake is that they don't persevere enough for the sale. Okay, so a lot of times beginners, they are afraid to offend people, they're afraid to go for the sale, they're afraid to ask for the sale. Okay, so they just let the person go. You know, it's kind of like, yeah. So that's the first mistake. Okay, now as from a beginner, the first mistake is that they don't ask for the sale enough, or they don't push for the sale. Okay, then the second mistake that beginners make, okay, is to push too hard for the sale. Okay, so as a professional salesperson, right, or like as a good salesperson, we don't hard sell. We always make sure that the sale must seem so smooth and effortless. Okay, we don't have to hard sell or push for the sale. So like beginner level 1 is they don't push enough for the sale. Beginner level 2 is they push too hard for the sale. So the balance, right, is when you are able to reach a point where you do not need to sell to the person, and the person just automatically wants to buy from you. So how do you do that? Is by not trying to convince them, okay? But also, you see, amateur salespeople try to convince people, oh, this product is very good, buy this product, this is very good for health, whatever. Okay? Professional salespeople, they don't do that. They ask questions so that the prospect convinces themselves. So for example, if let's say I want to sell you, say that this health product is very good, I won't say, hey, buy this product, is very good. Okay, I'll say for example, I'll say vitamin C. Okay, I'll say vitamin C is very important for health because vitamin C aids in immune system and everything. Do you feel that if you have a good immune system, do you think you'll become you'll be able to fend off more diseases? Do you think so?
Definitely.
Yes, right. Do you think if you had more vitamin C, you will be healthier?
Yes. Definitely.
Yes. So do you think that this product will help you?
Sure.
Yes, right. So rather than me having to convince him that vitamin C will help him, I'm asking questions to get him to come to the conclusion himself that vitamin C will help him. Make sense? Yeah.
That's very important sales tips from Alaric. I hope a lot of salespeople will get value from them. Okay, Alaric, moving on, the next question is what is your best advice for closing high-ticket sales in under 20 minutes?
Okay, so for me, I've closed a lot of high-ticket sales. All my sales calls are all less than 20 minutes. And I spend like maybe 5 minutes doing a consultation to understand more about the person, and then I'll just spend another 5 minutes pitching the offer, okay? And then the last 5 minutes is just waiting for the payment to come in. Like literally, like the hard part about sales, right? Okay, that most beginners make this mistake is that they feel awkward when waiting for payment, or they say, "Oh, can you transfer me after the call? Can you transfer me after the call?" And then, but at the end of the call, they don't transfer, right? So okay, so my sales process is very simple. my first 5 minutes, I ask them what's the result that they want, okay? What's their current situation? What's the pain about staying in their current situation? What's the obstacles preventing them from getting from their current result to their desired result, okay? And upon then, how willing are they to get to their desired result? Why is this important? Because number one, when we find out what result they want, then we can know what to sell them. Number two, when we find out what's their current situation, we'll know what's their current situation, and we know what to sell them. And then when we figure out the pain, that becomes their buying trigger, okay? That we can keep pushing this button to get them to buy, okay? Next, when you find out what's obstacles preventing them from getting to their desired result, that's when we can show that our product will help them to solve this problem, okay? And then number 5, why do we ask them like upon 10 how willing are they to get their desired result? Is because we want to get them to say that, oh, I'm 8 upon 10 or 9 upon 10 and I want this, right? And once they say that, then I can easily transition to the pitch and say, okay, based on what you said, I have the perfect solution for you. Can I share it with you? And then they'll say yes. And then once they say yes, because they wanted it and they're giving you permission to say to give it, you can go full on in your pitch. You can pitch as much as you want, you know. And then after that, I'll spend just 5 minutes pitching. I'll say, okay, I have this product that will do this, okay. And then, do you feel this can help you? Then they'll say, yeah, I think it can help me. How do you feel it can help you? And then I'll keep asking questions for them to convince themselves that this can help them, okay. And then I will handle objections before I even mention the price. So I will try to handle all the objections. For example, I'll handle the objections like can you make a decision on your own, or do you need to consult anyone? So that I wouldn't want later after I mention the price and then they say, oh, I need to discuss with my spouse. So I handle this objection first. Why? Because any objection that you handle before price is easier to handle compared to after price. Because before price, they want your product. Before you mention price, they want your product. So the sales resistance is very low. Okay. After you mention the price, it becomes okay. Before you mention price, it becomes they want to buy from you. After you mention price, it becomes like you have to sell to them. So you want to handle as many objections as you can before mentioning price. So I'll handle the spouse objection. I'll handle the can you make a decision now or must you wait a few months? I'll handle the I'll handle objections about do you have the money to do this and all this kind of stuff. So I handle all these objections before I even mention price. Okay, and then after I mention price, and because I've already handled all the objections, most of the time when I mention the price, it will just be a yes, okay, or maybe they need a payment plan, etc. And yeah, so basically, so I spent 5 minutes doing the pitch and handling objections, and then the last 5 minutes, right, is literally just collecting payment. And collecting payment on the call, right, is like it's just a dead silence. It's like, okay, great. So this is my account number. Can you transfer to me? And then I say, okay. They'll say okay, right? I say okay, great. So I'll just wait here on the call while you do the transfer. Once you do the transfer, just send me a screenshot, okay? And then I'll just mute myself and I just wait for 5 minutes. And this wait, right, like during a call, like now it sounds like it's not a big deal. But during the call, when you're actually waiting 5 minutes for the thing, there's a lot of pressure, you know. Like most salespeople will try to talk their way out of the sale. They like the prospect wants to buy, but because they keep talking, end up the prospect don't buy because the prospect gets distracted. Instead of doing the transfer, the prospect asks another question or whatever, and then they lose the sale, right? So this is the part where you just be quiet and say, okay, great. So I'll wait for you on the call. Let me know once you've done the transfer, then send me a screenshot. Okay, this is my account number. Okay, I'll wait for you. And then just keep quiet. And then you know, yeah. Wait for their transfer. Yeah. So that's
yeah, that's very useful sales tips from Alaric. Yeah. Moving on, Alaric, my next question: you have mastered Facebook and organic marketing. So which method would you recommend for someone who just starting out?
Okay, if you have the budget, definitely do Facebook ads. The reason why is because if you are able to do Facebook ads, you will really shortcut your learning curve. Because when you do organic marketing, you are using effort to exchange for money. Okay. But when you're using Facebook ads, you're using money to exchange for more money. Okay, so if let's say you can start off with $1,000, then I would recommend you do Facebook ads first, because it will just really make your life a lot easier. You know, if you want to build an organic to just get 1,000 views, it's so hard, right? But if you do Facebook ads to get 1,000 views, is like $5 or $10 to get 1,000 views. You know. So if you do it organically, it's just a lot harder. Okay. Now, but if let's say you've got no money, then you can start off with doing organic. So you can join Facebook groups, add people as friends, message them, go for networking events, you know, ask them, hey, nice to meet you, what do you do? And then just build a conversation from there. set an appointment from there. So if you're brand new and got no money, start off with doing organic. But if you have the budget, then start off with doing Facebook ads. Yeah.
All right, Alaric, next question. How do you define a superstar brand, and what step should entrepreneur take to build one?
Okay, so if you want to build a brand, okay, here's the thing: everyone has a brand. Believe it or not, everyone has a brand. Okay, you have a brand, I have a brand, everyone has a brand. The only question is how good is this brand? Okay, and these are the 7 steps that I would always recommend for someone to increase their brand. Number 1 is to write and publish your own book. Why do you want to write and publish your own book? Is because the moment you have your own book, you become perceived as an authority. You know, it's like let's say 2 insurance agents. One insurance agent has a book. One insurance agent doesn't have a book. If you are to buy insurance, you buy from the guy who wrote a book called like How to Retire by 30 years old, something like that. You know, so write and publish your own book. Number 2, get featured on the news. Okay, so if let's say you get featured on the news, then straight away you get credibility and stuff. Number 3, rank your name on Google. So for example, when people search your name, Stephen Ting, they must be able to find your name on Google, right? Because then that's credibility. Number 4 is to do interviews with people. So for example, this interview, right? Like you can from this interview, because I interviewed billionaires, multimillionaires, celebrities, etc. So what you can do, okay, is you can do this thing called branding by association. What's branding by association? Is basically, it's like if I know a billionaire, okay, and now you know me, that means that most likely you must be someone successful because because you know me, make sense? And I know the billionaire, something like that. So it's like if let's say I show myself doing interviews with all these billionaires, etc., and then now you do an interview with me, everyone must be thinking, you must be a somebody. If not, why would I do an interview with you? Make sense? So that's called branding by association, and that's a very good way to improve your branding as well. Next is to have testimonials, right? So showing case studies, testimonials with clients and stuff. Next would be getting your own website. Okay, so like having your own website, stephenting.com, alaricong.com, etc. And getting thousands of followers on your social media. Okay, so like if, 2 people, one person has 50 followers, one person has thousands of followers, people will definitely trust the person who has thousands of followers. Yeah.
Yeah, Alaric, moving on, our next question is like, how can someone position themselves as an authority in their industry?
So same thing, like you follow the 7 steps that I shared, and like in whatever industry you are doing, you will become an authority. Let's say you're a network marketer. If you did these 7 steps, you wrote your book, you get featured on the news, you did interviews, you get your name ranked on Google, you get thousands of followers, you get testimonials, and you do all these, people will naturally perceive you as a somebody. Yeah, and you instantly get authority.
Okay. Next question is like, what's your takes on personal branding versus business branding? Should entrepreneur focus on one or over the other?
Okay, so I mean everyone has a personal brand and a business brand, right? Okay. I always recommend you build your personal brand first, then only your business brand. The reason why is because you might do this business only for 1 year or 2 years or 5 years, okay, or 10 years, right? But you will be you forever. Like you will be Stephen Ting forever, right? But your business, maybe you're doing this business for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, So build your personal brand, because when you build your personal brand, like for example for me, because I built my personal brand, whatever business that I do after that, I'm already respected. Make sense? It's like Elon Musk. Whatever business he builds, it's not the business is not so important. It's his personal brand that is more important, right? And if you look at like people resonate with people more than they resonate with companies. So people resonate with Steve Jobs more than they resonate with Apple. People resonate with Bill Gates more than they resonate with Microsoft. People just have an affinity towards other people. Yeah.
Okay. The next question is like, I understand that you spend over 90,000 on mentorship and learning. How important is investing in self-education?
Super important. So for me, every time I travel, like even I was on a flight over here, I was listening to podcasts about cryptocurrency and all this kind of stuff. Like I'm always learning new things, okay? And for me, I learn things at 2 times to 3 times the speed. Now YouTube has this option where you can listen to things at 3 times the speed. So imagine this, every time I travel to work, okay, I will spend maybe 1 hour. Okay, let's say I spend half an hour to travel to work, okay, and half an hour to travel back. So that's 1 hour of learning a day, okay? But I'm listening to something at 2 times or 3 times the speed. So that's 2 hours of learning per day, okay? So imagine, 2 entrepreneurs. One entrepreneur every day listen to music or podcast, for music or radio, or doesn't listen to anything, okay? One person every day is listening to podcasts, learning about crypto, learning about Facebook marketing, learning about AI, learning every day, learning about business, learning about marketing, learning about scaling, etc. after 365 days, this person will have 365 hours more of content. This person is that's equivalent to going for 30 different seminars, you know. So learning is super important. I've spent over $100,000 getting coaches, mentors, etc. It has been very important for my growth as a person. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing the success tips. The next question is like, what are your daily habits or routines that contribute to your success?
Okay, so this is something that I've interviewed a lot of successful people and asked them like, what's their morning routine? What do they actually do on a day-to-day basis, right? And I know there are a lot of like coaches who say, oh, you need to do like morning routines and all this kind of. I've interviewed Marcos Moura, who makes $120 million per year, and he told me that he doesn't have a morning routine. It's really just work. He's just obsessed with working. He's just obsessed with making the best customer experience and everything. So like he doesn't have a morning routine. And okay, I used to have a morning routine when I was like 16 years old. I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and then I'll do push-ups, I'll drink water, I'll breathe, I'll think of what I'm grateful for and everything. But when I was scaling my business from $0 to $1.2 million, I didn't have any morning routine. I just make sure that I do a seminar, I make sure that I close during the seminar, and then I reflect on how I can improve the seminar. I do the next seminar, I close, I reflect how to improve, I do the next seminar, I close. That's all. Like I didn't have to do any morning routine or any of this, any of that stuff. Yeah. So like for any entrepreneur, I would recommend pack your schedule with appointments or pack your schedule with events or seminars. Like pack your schedule with meeting clients, okay? And that's what's gonna help you get more sales. Everything else is a distraction, you know. Yeah, just focus on getting more appointments and doing more appointments, or getting more events and doing more events. That's basically how you get more clients. Yeah.
What is the best piece of advice you ever received?
The best piece of advice I ever received is that this by Richard Tan. Okay, so Richard Tan is the founder of Success Resources. He does about $100 million a year, and his company is worth $500 million. And they bring in the top speakers like Tony Robbins, T. Harv Eker. They do 60,000 PAX events, 10,000 PAX events, 5,000 PAX events. And one thing he said was that big doesn't mean it's good. Profitable is good. So like he said like, don't be jealous when you see that other people have make millions of dollars, or they do seminars with tens of thousands of attendees. He says sometimes his seminars that have 300 attendees is more profitable than his seminars with 30,000 over attendees. You know, sometimes the 30,000 attendees end up losing money, end up he have to, you know. So he said, don't be envious when people are big or whatever. Big doesn't mean good. Profitable is good. Yeah, that was the advice that he gave to me. Yeah.
Okay, Alaric, this is my last final question for this interview session. If you have to start all over again with no money, how will you rebuild your business?
Okay, very simple. So if I got no money, right? Okay, first I would think of what's a skill set that I have. Okay, so I'll think, okay, what are the monetizable skill sets that I have? So I'll look, okay, at myself. Okay, so for example, for me, I know, okay, I can run Facebook ads. I know I can sell. I know I can do AI avatars. I know I can do AI I can do websites. I know I can do copywriting. I know I can build AIs. I can build AI chatbots. I can do AI callers. I can market events. You know, so I look at what the skill sets I have. Everyone has skill sets. Okay, so like maybe for you, you probably have your own skill sets as well. Okay, so first I'll look at what's the monetizable skill sets that I have. Okay, and then number two, I will start thinking which one I want to focus on. Okay, and then I will think of who would be a target market that I can apply these monetizable skill sets to. So for example, let's say you are good at running Facebook ads, okay? So you can approach like maybe insurance agents or property agents, etc. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll join Facebook groups to add friends. Okay, join Facebook groups, add friends. Every day I'll make sure I text at least 15 people. Okay, if let's say I got completely no money and everything, this is what I'll do. So every day I'll text 15 people, and this is what I used to do when I was 19 years old. I did my network marketing business. So if you text 15 people per day, chances are you'll be able to set about 3 to 4 appointments per day. Okay. Now if you set 3 to 4 appointments a day, that's 100 appointments a month. If you set 100 appointments a month, let's say you close at 20%. Okay. In 1 month, right, you get 20 clients. If you close each client on a $1,000 offer, that's 20K a month in income. You know, when you make this 20K a month in income, after that you can take the money, run some ads and all that, and then you can just scale your business from there. So that's what I would do. I'll go to Facebook groups, add friends. I'll go to LinkedIn groups, add friends, and then message them on LinkedIn. I'll go to forums, add friends over there, offer my advice and everything, and then see how I can add value to them. That's how I would start off. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Alaric, for all the time. This is all the time we have. Thanks for flying all the way from Singapore to Malaysia for this interview. So I hope a lot of entrepreneurs outside here learn a lot from his valuable sharing. Thank you, Alaric. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
See
Okay,
you
great.
in the next interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Okay.